So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Matt Gasecki, and I am the Community Outreach and Education Coordinator with NAMI Greater Cleveland. And we are here tonight to explore the intersections of mental health and mindfulness, joined by Diane Zrenner, who will be leading us in tonight's presentation, also providing us with some guided meditations, some practices related to mindfulness. Very briefly, I just want to say a few words about NAMI Greater Cleveland before we get started. We are the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI was founded in 1979 in Wisconsin by a group of mothers of children with mental illness, specifically schizophrenia. And they formed NAMI kind of around their grassroots, kind of around their kitchen tables as a grassroots coalition to provide more education, support, and acknowledgement in local communities around the reality of living with mental illness in one's family. Since then, NAMI has become the largest grassroots mental health organization of its kind and is represented by state or local affiliates in all 50 states. NAMI Greater Cleveland is a local affiliate of NAMI. We serve Cuyahoga County, and our work is dedicated to improving quality of life for individuals with mental illness and their families by providing education, support, information and referral, and advocacy. So to that end, we offer support groups for people with mental illness, support groups for families. We offer educational programs designed to support individuals learning to cope with a new diagnosis, or for families learning to adjust with their loved one's diagnosis. We do extensive education in the communities with law enforcement, universities, middle schools and high schools, healthcare professionals, corporations. We have a helpline that's available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, that provides referral to resources in the community that can be helpful with addressing mental health and recovery, and other wraparound services that are important to one's wellness journey. And NAMI also supports advocacy in the sense of raising awareness about mental illness, reducing stigma around mental health, making mental health a topic that it's okay to talk about openly in community and in society. NAMI is very involved at the national level in research, very involved in legislative advocacy at the federal and state level, making mental health a public health priority, ensuring the voices of peers and families are included in important policy decisions, and creating a movement where we can all recognize that we are not alone and that mental health is for all. Mental health awareness is for all. So that's a brief statement about NAMI Greater Cleveland. As a reminder, this webinar is being recorded and will be posted to the NAMI Greater Cleveland YouTube channel later this week. And I will also provide these slides from tonight's presentation to you at a later date as well. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Diane. I think, Diane, we navigated away from the slideshow itself. I don't know if you're able to click back to the first slide and get us back in the view mode.
There's something that says resume slideshow. Should I click on that?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. There we are.
All right. Great. Well, thank you all for attending, and thank you, Matt, for inviting me to present. I'm really grateful and excited for the opportunity to share information on mindfulness. It's something that I have kind of used in my practice. Well, I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I have been in practice for more than 40 years. We'll just leave it at that without giving too much idea of my age. But over the last couple decades, I have just found that I've had an active interest in the energy in our bodies. I'm also a Reiki master, and the alternative healing that we can tap into just with our own resources. So that's been really important for me. I'd like to start off with request for you to focus on something that is life-sustaining, something that you would not be able to live without, something that most of us take for granted, and that's your breath. So if you're sitting comfortably, keep sitting comfortably, and I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Just breathe in gently through your nose, if possible, and slowly exhale. And follow your breath. Observe your breathing as it comes in naturally without you really having to do anything. Use no force, just easy breath. Sort of like you're letting your breath do the breathing. Inhale and exhale, and just follow your breath. On your next breath, let the breath move to all parts of your body, especially those that need it the most. And give thanks for the life that it brings. Give thanks for the way it brings energy, yet is calming. And you can open your eyes. Thank you. Just focusing on your breath, as we just did, for only about 1 minute is itself mindfulness. I hope it helped you to feel calm and a bit more focused. Thought it would be a good introduction because the breath is so powerful. It is a moving, flowing sort of energy. Many people refer it to a bridge which connects the body and the mind. Most ancient cultures emphasize special breathing practices for healing. And now research has demonstrated the many benefits of breath work, physically and emotionally. Physical health benefits for breath work might include balanced blood pressure, more time in deep sleep, reduction of post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms, feelings of trauma, stronger respiratory function, better immune system, release of stress hormones from your body. The emotional benefits may include fewer feelings of depression and anxiety, a better mental focus, a decrease in addictive behaviors, allowing emotional scars to heal, better outlook on life, and contentment and joy. Researchers at the University of California gave volunteers an 8-minute instruction of mindfulness of their breath and found that this short focusing center, as compared to reading a newspaper or just relaxing, it lessened how much their mind wandered afterward. And with continued practice, results showed improved working memory as well. So people who use breathing practices daily, they actually respond more quickly to medical treatment. And just being mindful of our breath. We take about 22,000 breaths a day. So I'm going to challenge you. Can you be mindful of just a few of them on a daily basis? There's many different kinds of breathing practices. They're called, some of the names are affectionate breathing, 3-part breathing, the breath of life, the empty mind breathing, pranayama or the ocean breath, the monkey chattering breath, just to name a few. I love the different names and techniques. There's breathing techniques for reduction of anxiety, for improving sleep, for decreasing pain, and even improving sports performance. I could spend a whole session on just breathing, but I'd like to just focus on a few. Deep breathing or abdominal breathing, sometimes also called the essential breath, has been around for a long time, and it's used in a lot of like yoga practices, and
Diane,
other, pardon me?
are you on the, are you trying to move forward on the slides?
No, I haven't yet. I have
Oh,
not
okay.
yet.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. Okay, I wanted to make sure.
actually, I probably should. Thank you for that. The breath.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I put little asterisks to remind myself, but I'll try and do that. Anyways, deep breathing or abdominal breathing, it triggers relaxation. It pumps lymphatic fluid, which carries the toxins out of your body. It initiates the release of several neuropeptides, which are chemical messengers from the brain center. If you practice deep breathing on a regular basis, or even just a few breaths, 5 breaths, you can slow your heart rate down. You can lower your blood pressure with practice, and it also lowers your body temperature. A type of breathing called heart-focused breathing is a practice where we focus attention to the heart, the center of the chest. A 5-second rhythm is good. That is 5 seconds inhale, 5 seconds hold, 5 seconds exhale. But it should be easy, not forced. So whatever number of seconds is good for you. One short practice that I like is this. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Repeat this 3 times. Breathe in, calm your body, breathe out, and smile. Do that 2 more times. And check in. How does that feel? Should feel pretty good. This can also be fun to do with another person or in a group. When you do this with another person, you look at each other in the eyes, and it gives you a chance to really make an authentic connection with that person. One of my favorites is the sigh of relief. It is one of the most powerful healing tools that we have. Unfortunately, most people do not use it until they're frustrated or angry. How many times have you heard someone go, when they're totally frustrated, when they've had a bad day at work, when the person hears something that they don't want to hear, or maybe when they've just had enough? The relaxation of the sigh actually shifts the function of the autonomic nervous system, and it releases healing transmitters into the system. So sigh as much as you want, and you can just feel better with that. Breathing helps us to be aware of the moment, to relax and to reset. So be mindful of your breath. I like to suggest that you incorporate even a simple breath regularly throughout the day. Like maybe when you're in line at the store, how many breaths can you get in? Take a deep breath when you stop at a stoplight or a stop sign, or waiting for an elevator, or maybe after you brush your teeth. Whatever trigger would remind you. I guess we could have titled this presentation, Peace is Every Breath. So what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is one variety of meditation. But unlike meditation, where you clear your mind, mindfulness is keeping awareness of where you are right now, this moment. So mindfulness lets us observe what's happening in the mind itself rather than being carried away by it. Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk, a peace activist, author, poet, and teacher, is known as the father of mindfulness. He wrote many books, 2 of which I reference for this presentation, Peace is Every Step and The Miracle of Mindfulness. He described mindfulness as follows. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and alive body and mind united. Mindfulness is the energy that helps us to know what is going on in the present moment. Another author, John Kabat-Zinn, founding director of the Stress Reduction Clinic and the Center for Mindfulness, describes mindfulness as the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience. So let's talk about some of these key words in these definitions. Being fully present and alive. Focus on where you are right now. What is going on right now? What sensations do you feel? What is the reality of your situation right now? Be specific. What's going right in your life? What is the contribution that you're making? Or what is the contribution that others are making? Many times we feel anxious or angry or sad about something that happened in the past, something that cannot be changed, or something that you just can't really do anything about. Or we worry about what's going to happen in the future, fear that it's going to turn out bad, or it's going to lead to some sort of trouble, or just fear the unknown. Mindfulness isn't about getting somewhere. It isn't about making the right decision. It's about being present with what is now. It does not mean that we do not have plans or goals or aspirations, but if our minds are ruminating about some past event or we're worried about some future goal, it's difficult to accomplish anything in the present. Each moment is so precious. Body and mind united. The breath connects the body and the mind, uniting your body to your thoughts. Emotions usually arise at the place where the mind and the body meet. It's the body's reaction to the mind or a reflection of your mind in the body. It's important to welcome the feelings associated, whether it's irritation or compassion. Both are ourselves. Your feelings are your feelings. There's no right or wrong feeling. Just feel, even if it's anger, sadness, or joy. If something tragic happens, it's natural to have uncomfortable feelings. You don't want to push those feelings away. That's not what mindfulness is. It's going to the feeling, helping us connect to the feeling, and it can help us look at what the reality of the situation is and what you're going through without judgment, just connecting to those feelings. Energy. Energy gives our bodies life and form the foundation of our health. Our energy systems include the meridians, the chakras, and the biofield, just to name a few, the main ones, and they emit electromagnetic energy and light. Sound is also energy waves. Energy is called qi in China, like in Tai Chi or Qigong, maybe you've heard of those. Prana in the yoga tradition of India and Tibet. Ki in Japan, like in Reiki. Baraka by the Sufis. Energy is called Arenda by the Iroquois. The Holy Spirit in the Christian tradition. It's hardly a new idea to suggest that energy is all there is. We are all connected by energy. The energy you and I send out is like a ripple to the universe. Did you ever walk into a room and you could feel the tension in the air so thick, like you could cut it with a knife? But how about going into a festive event like a wedding, perhaps, and you can almost feel the love in the air. So energy is all around us. The air that I breathe is the same air that you breathe. And it's kind of bad to think that we're breathing the same air, especially after COVID and all that, but we actually are. Did you know that plants give off energy? There's a lot of research about the healing qualities of being in nature. You might have heard of forest bathing or go hug a tree. There is actually, I could spend a whole session talking about energy and the benefits of different types of energy methods. But for now, just try this. Throw all of your energy toward an object in your room. Maybe it's the doorknob, maybe it's a chair, whatever's in your room. Just throw all your energy in that direction. Just direct your energy outward to that object and notice how that feels. Now focus your energy inward to your heart, to who you really are, your true essence, and kind of experience the wholeness of your being. How does that feel? Sometimes the quieter you become, the more energy you can feel. Awareness. Awareness is like a natural openness. Simply be open. No extra effort is needed. Awareness is not the same as thought. A thinking mind can sometimes be fragmented. Awareness is more like a vessel which can hold and contain our thinking, helping us to see and know our thoughts rather than getting caught up in them. Silent awareness. Sometimes it's difficult to just let ourselves be silent. That is awareness of the present moment experience with acceptance. Acceptance allows us to engage in life as it is, rather than how we would like it to be. But that does not mean acceptance is resignation or defeat or submission to an unpleasant experience. It's the opposite. It means accepting the fact of a situation, then deciding what you will do about it. Acceptance can be very empowering because it makes choices possible. Acceptance is the only place where change can begin. I like this quote by James Thurber. Don't look to the past in anger, nor the future in fear, but around in awareness. Pay attention. Where do you put your attention? There's a saying, where your attention goes, your energy flows. And if you think about that, are you focusing on a problem and all your energy is going to a problem, a lack of something, complaining, being critical, sending out negative energy? Do you view a difficulty in life as a burden, or could it be a gift? It's difficult to see a challenge as a gift, especially when there's a lot of suffering involved. But life is full of challenges, and we all have the power to transform obstacles into opportunities. Maybe it's an opportunity for growth, or an opportunity to demonstrate some courage, or to gain some wisdom. How did you feel after you met a challenge? Something that was difficult. What's the hardest thing you've done? But how did you feel about that afterwards? Did you learn anything, or did you grow in some way? So where are you putting your attention? Gratefulness or gratitude can help us reframe a loss into a potential gain. It's all perspective. Do you grieve because the rose bush has thorns? Or do you give thanks because the thorn bush has a rose? And what about those times when we do something without really paying attention? Multitasking. People are distracted by cell phones, and they're not really paying attention to what's going on. Maybe it's when you do something routine, like driving to work every day or eating. Did you ever get to your destination, someplace that you go frequently, and wonder, how did I get there? I don't even remember driving here. That's kind of scary. Your mind might be in a different place, or it's full of things you have to do that day. We're caught up in the busyness of life, school, work, responsibilities, projects, obligations. Even fun activities are often scheduled. And these are all outside of ourself, an outward focus, things to do. Mindfulness is taking notice, but also putting your attention on your inside. It's an opportunity to look within, to pause, to be. When your to-do list gets too long or complicated, it's important to remember that we are human beings, not human doings. On purpose, we are thinking beings, but are we mindful all the time? The practice of mindfulness means doing it with intention. Maybe that's setting aside a time, making it a regular practice at a certain time of day. Just putting aside all other thoughts, focusing on what you're doing. There's all different ways to be mindful on purpose. How about walking? There's something called walking mindful or mindful walking. And that's where you pay attention to each step, your feet touching the ground. You feel that sensation, how your body is moving. How about washing dishes? Washing dishes can be a very intense mindful practice. Be aware, fully aware of every dish, the feeling of the water on your hands, and each movement of your hand. One I particularly like to share is mindful eating. Many of us get into trouble with mindless eating, maybe eating while do something else like watching TV or reading or driving. I remember waiting at a red light one day, and I was noticing how many people were eating something while they were driving. Not that I haven't done that myself, or they were on their phone, or maybe doing both, or all three things at the same time. But anyways, if you're eating while you're doing something else, before you know it, the whole bag of whatever is half gone. Did we really taste it? When you sit down to eat, look at your food. When I give a presentation on mindfulness, which is usually has been in the past in person, I usually bring a plate of strawberries. And we spend some time observing the strawberry, noticing the different marks, the shape. All strawberries are really different. The picture of them looks the same, but if you really look at strawberries, they have many different shapes and markings and indentations, and even the leaf at the top is way different on various strawberries. So we really feel the texture of that strawberry, how it's soft, but yet it has some firmness to it. And we observe the color. They could be different colors depending upon how ripe it is. And the smell of strawberries is very strong, not offensive usually, but I'll have a plate of strawberries in the room where I'm giving a presentation, and people can smell it as soon as they walk into the room. And how about the taste of strawberries? But first, before you taste it, you kind of just maybe put a piece of strawberry in your mouth without chewing it. And as soon as you bite down on the strawberry, the flavors like explode in your mouth. So it takes us a good several minutes to take a bite of this strawberry, but you're really appreciating what that strawberry has to offer and maybe thinking about the vitamins and the minerals that are in that strawberry as well. So notice your food and notice with all of your senses. Food can be our connection with the earth. Each bite contains the life of the sun and the earth. We can give thanks to the people who grew the food, picked the food, packaged it, transported it, prepared it, all for our enjoyment and nourishment. So a whole different way to look at eating is mindful eating. And I think you'll really enjoy eating a little bit better. You can do mindful brushing your teeth, mindful exercise. I read this research article on exercise. So people did, if I can remember this right, because I'm going off on a tangent now, but the research was about the strength of your finger. So they had a control, one group, people did exercises where maybe they bent their finger, like this, and just did these finger exercise so many times a day for a couple weeks. And then they had another group of people that did that same exercise, but they carried the thought in their mind as they did the exercise, my finger is getting stronger. Okay. And then they had a group that did not exercise at all, and didn't think anything. And then they had another group that just looked at their finger and told that finger for the same amount of time that the people were doing the exercise that their fingers getting stronger. So of course, the people that were visualizing their finger getting stronger with the exercise, their fingers got the strongest. But the people that didn't do the exercise and just thought, were mindful that their finger is getting stronger, their fingers got stronger. So it was kind of amazing that if you are mindful of what you're doing and what your intention is, it can really have some great benefits. This is one of my favorite aspects of mindfulness, without judgment. It's not good or bad. There's no evaluating, no comparing, no criticizing, no complaining. Mindfulness is simply following the truth within your heart without attachment to an outcome or the way things should be. Did you ever have anybody tell you, oh, you should do this or you should do that? That doesn't really feel that good because it sort of has a negative connotation to it. If you say you should do that, that kind of means that you're not doing it, or that you have some guilt or shame for not doing it. So I like the saying, don't should upon yourself. So kind of keep the shoulds out of it. No judgment. Shoulds carry a lot of judgment. The more judgments we have, the less peaceful and happy we feel. When you judge, you see flaws. When you love, you see your essence. Unfolding of experience. Just experience. That's what life is. A journey of experience. Let them unfold. Mindfulness is not about feeling a certain way. It's about feeling the way that you feel, letting the mind be as it is, and knowing about how it is in this moment. Think of your mind as a surface of a lake or an ocean. There are always waves on the water, sometimes big, sometimes small, sometimes it's smooth as glass. The water's waves can get churned up by the winds, which come and go. They're going to vary in direction and intensity. Just as the winds of stress and change in our lives happen, we can't really control that. It comes stirring up our mind. Mindfulness is not about trying to shut off those waves. That would only cause more tension. One cannot stop the waves, but you can feel the waves and you can learn to surf. What a thrilling experience. So why mindfulness? Studies have shown that mindfulness strengthens the brain's ability to focus and ignore distractions. We certainly have a lot of distractions this day and age. With longer practice, participants also improve their working memory. A type of mindfulness called loving kindness may be particularly helpful with people suffering from trauma, especially those with post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. One study found that just 7 minutes of loving kindness practice boosted a person's good feelings and a sense of social connection. Mindfulness helps with sleep enhancement. It even strengthens the immune system, which is real important during the pandemic. In just 7 hours over 2 weeks, individuals that practice a compassion meditation increase connectivity in the brain circuits for positive emotions and empathy. People who practice mindfulness demonstrated a lower response to pain, as well as more rapid recovery. In a meta-analysis of 47 studies on the application of meditation methods to treat patients with mental health problems, the findings showed that mindfulness meditation can lead to decreases in depression, anxiety, and pain. It also can, to a lesser degree, reduce psychological stress. I think that makes a pretty good argument to practice mindfulness. I was pretty surprised at a lot of those results. Some of the symptoms of mental illness that mindfulness can address are as follows. Feeling sad or down, as in depression, confused thinking or reduced ability to concentrate. Sometimes our thoughts interfere with our ability to concentrate. Excessive fears or worries, extreme feelings of guilt, extreme mood changes, highs and lows, withdrawal from friends and activities, significant tiredness, low energy, and problem sleeping, inability to cope with daily problems to stress, and troubling understanding and relating to situations and to people. So let's talk a little bit about how this works, especially for stress and anxiety. I hope you've heard of the fight-flight response. This was a phrase coined by Robert Cannon to describe what goes on in the body when faced with a saber-toothed tiger. A part of the brain triggers something as danger and sends a signal to the heart to pump more blood, to pump it faster and with more pressure. So instead of your blood pumping like this, it starts to pump like this. And it keeps going and the blood is directed to the larger muscles of the legs and the arms, away from your fingers and your toes. It's away from your digestive system so that you have the ability, the strength to fight or get out of dodge, to flee. The blood, maybe you've heard of situations where a person lifted a car off another person in a dangerous situation or performed some other extraordinary feat when they were in danger. That's the fight-flight response. The part of the brain that triggers the fight-flight is called the amygdala. And the amygdala is the key node in the brain's stress circuitry because it produces cortisol, what I call the stress hormone. So in this fight flight response, which is crucial in the event of danger and only supposed to last a few minutes to help with the danger, so there's a lot of different hormones that are being produced in your body when this is going on. And it only lasts for a few minutes, so then it stops and you can come back to normal. We're really not faced with saber-toothed tigers these days, but there are a lot of biological and psychological pressures that people are facing and that are perceived by the brain as dangers. So our brain keeps going into the fight-flight response, and it does not turn off the production of the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. Cortisol over time affects many parts of the body, such as suppressing our immune system, our digestive system, our reproductive system. It affects the cardiac system because it's always calling on the heart to pump more blood. It could raise make high blood pressure, pretty much all of our systems because they're all connected. So during with mindfulness practice, research has showed that there is lessened amygdala reactivity to stressful situations, thus lower levels of cortisol. So as we face daily life with all its stressors, practicing mindfulness will kind of keep us at a lower level, and so that we're not going into the full-blown fight or flight response with every little thing. This fight-flight response, it starts out with a perception of danger in the brain, which then sends a signal to the heart. So a significant way to counteract this response is by deep breathing, because deep breathing will help to slow your heart rate down. So it counteracts the stress response. And that's why I spent a bit of time talking about breathing and its connection to mindfulness. And oftentimes, if you're just aware of your breath, that's enough to counteract some of the stress, the production of cortisol in your body. So just being aware of the breath and its healing powers, taking this pause to be aware of the breath, it can help to relax your body and your mind. Another type of mindfulness practice is called mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR. It first came into being in 1979 at the University of Massachusetts Medical Center. And it has risen to the top of meditation practices and is taught around the world in hospitals, clinics, schools, even businesses. One of the many benefits that MBSR claims is that it boosts how well people handle stress. After about 30 hours of the MBSR training over an 8-week period, that's pretty standard for this training, 30 hours over 8 weeks, one study demonstrated significantly lessened amygdala reactivity, thus significantly less cortisol in the person's body. Pretty amazing. I noted before another type of mindfulness called loving kindness. It's helpful for individuals with PTSD or dealing with different kinds of trauma. Loving concern for other people's well-being energizes the brain circuitry for happiness along with compassion. It boosts the connection in the prefrontal cortex of the brain, and that is a zone that is critical for guiding behavior. So research shows that when mindfulness focuses on generating compassion, loving kindness, one becomes more connected with their bodies, particularly their hearts. And this one is kind of amazing because as few as 7 hours over the course of 2 weeks, it led to increased connectivity in circuits important for empathy and positive feelings. And these connections were strong enough even to show up even when the person wasn't in the meditation state. So there's carryover with this. So it's not only giving you a sense of positive feeling when you're practicing loving kindness, but it carries over into the next day. So loving kindness starts with mindful self-compassion. There may be nothing more precious than the feeling that we truly matter, that you truly matter. Loving yourself is the key for letting life love you. But how often do we become self-critical? This is a big component of a lot of mental health issues. Researchers note that self-criticism is not limited to only depression. It shows up in a range of emotional problems. When we're mindful of our struggles and respond to ourselves with compassion, kindness, support in times of difficulty, things can start to change. We can learn to embrace ourselves and our lives despite imperfections and provide ourselves with the strength needed to survive, to thrive even. Individuals who are self-compassionate tend to have greater happiness, life satisfaction, more motivation, better relationships, physical health, less anxiety, and less depression. They also have the resilience to cope with stressful life events as they come up. So self-compassion emerges from the heart of mindfulness. There's 3 core elements of mindful self-compassion. The first is self-kindness. That's loving. Offer yourselves warmth and unconditional acceptance. Common humanity is the connection. We all make mistakes. We all experience hardship. But there's a sense of interconnectedness that is central to self-compassion. And then mindfulness, and that's the being present. It's being aware of the moment-to-moment experiences in a clear and balanced manner. The essence of loving kindness is being able to offer happiness. You could be the sunshine for another person. It is difficult to offer happiness until you have it for yourself. And this is where trust comes in. Trust is a way of being. It's a quality of awareness that belongs to you. Trust shows you that when your life is falling apart, it isn't you that is falling apart. The essence of who you are is always okay. What falls apart is your sense of self, maybe your ego, expectations of how things should be. Oh, there's that should again. So when you get frustrated or when you're going through some suffering, mindful self-compassion can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves and to the realization that there is no way to escape pain except by going through it and then beyond it. Suffering itself does not give us any answers, but it may inwardly push us to wake up, to realize our own potential. This is such a valuable practice that I would like to try a loving practice now. So close your eyes, sit comfortably, and relax your body as much as you can. You may want to place your hand on your heart, but you don't have to. And repeat after me. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Feelings and thoughts may come and go. Just let them. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now choose someone in your life who inspires you, who you have positive regard for, or someone that you're grateful for. You might even want to say their name and repeat after me. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Feel the joy in your heart. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Next, choose someone that you have difficulty with, or one who might be having a difficult time right now. And repeat after me. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. If this is difficult, or if your mind wanders, don't be discouraged. Just turn your attention back to the phrases. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And lastly, direct the phrases of loving kindness to all people, all living beings, all animals, all life creatures. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. You can open your eyes. And I hope you felt loving kindness. I hope you felt that warmth. Those who practice loving kindness are able to increase their capacity for forgiveness, connection to others, self-acceptance. Some studies suggest that it may be useful in the management of social anxiety, anger, and coping with the stresses of long-term caregiving, which can be very challenging. I'd like to talk a little bit about gratitude. There are many cool things that we take for granted. When you have a toothache, you know that toothache is there. The pain, the throbbing reminds us on a constant basis. But when you don't have a toothache, we don't really give credit to the tooth or thanks to the tooth for being healthy and functioning as it should and doing its job. So research shows that every time a person expresses or receives gratitude, expresses or receives gratitude, dopamine is released in the brain. So what's dopamine? I call it the feel-good hormone. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter. And when it releases, cellular connection is made between a behavior and feeling good. This is called a neural pathway. The more a person expresses or receives gratitude and activates these neural pathway signals, the stronger they become, sort of like a muscle. So practicing mindful gratitude, being aware of the basic good, taking it to the next level and saying thank you, simply rewires our brains and activates a bliss center. Every time you connect with the present moment, relaxing into the present moment, tuning into it, surrendering to it, being grateful for it, you're creating neural pathways. And the more you do it, they become stronger and it rewires the brain. Simple as that, just saying thank you. Being grateful is an opening of the mind and the heart, turning our awareness to where we feel joy and happiness. Often when we're in the midst of difficult times, it's hard to give attention to the many things for which we're grateful. Mindful gratitude is simply paying attention to what is going right in one's life instead of what's wrong, and then taking it to the next level, saying thank you. Look beyond the problem and connect to a feeling of appreciation. Appreciate every good thing in life, not just the big things. Nothing is too small to be thankful for. And you can find gratitude in challenges. Meeting a challenge help you become the person that you are today. So when you wake up, before you get out of bed, say thank you. Maybe to the alarm clock for waking me up so I can be on time to where I need to be. Or maybe it's for your warm bed, or the roof over your head, or for your teeth, or for your teeth because you have no toothache. I don't know. There's so many things that you can be thankful for. And then before you go to bed, name 3 good things. Somebody told me that. Write down 3 good things that happened that day and offer thanks for them. So, and then when you think about those 3 good things, what part did you have to play into that? And what was the feelings that went with that? So you sort of make the connection between the good thing and your feeling. And so what you're doing there is you're thinking of the thing and you're connecting it to the feeling, you're connecting it to your heart. And it makes that connection so strong, the heart-mind connection. Anyways, it's such a good thing to do. Research shows that people who write down maybe a gratitude list before they go to bed or journal about the good things before going to bed, they actually sleep better. They get into a better REM sleep. So if you start and end your day with gratitude, your life will be filled with blessings that you really didn't see before. It takes you in the direction of love and it takes you to your heart. I think we have time for a little mindful gratitude now. So again, close your eyes, sit comfortably, and bring your awareness to the inside, maybe to your heart. Observe your breathing. If you're distracted by thought, that's okay. Just be aware of that and come back to your breathing. Bring your awareness to the area of your heart. Feel love and appreciation that rests there. Ask yourself the question, what am I grateful for? Just ask the question and let it go. What am I grateful for? Allow any thoughts, sensations, feelings, or images come to you. What am I grateful for? Keep your awareness on your heart and repeat to yourself. Today, I will judge nothing that happens. Today, I will judge nothing that happens. Send love and appreciation for your qualities, your character, what makes you unique. Appreciate those. Say thank you. Think about people in your life. Send gratitude to them. Notice feelings that may be associated with this. Warmth or sadness or one of humility. Extend this gratitude to people you may not know. The cashier, those that grow your food, service providers. Offer gratitude for the earth, for the universe, and how it works. There's so much to be grateful for. What are you grateful for? You can slowly open your eyes. Life will continue to have its challenges, problems to be solved, health issues, all sorts of pressures. And problems can build over time, creating more problems, leaving us feeling stuck, out of touch, overwhelmed, insecure. Mindfulness can help us feel unstuck. It's a way to take charge of direction and quality of our own lives. There's many things in life over which we have no control, but we could ask ourselves, what touched me today? What inspired me today? What made me smile today? What is the best thing that happened today? And getting in touch with that, with your inner self, that's mindfulness. I think there's three main qualities for mindfulness. First, there's a calmness or a relaxation. Second, there's an openness, an acceptance for everything, free from doubt, worry, judgment. And then there's harmony, clarity, wholeness, your true essence, balance. So why mindfulness? Mindfulness is connecting to your basic goodness, to the intrinsic value of our beingness. It helps to train the neural circuitry in our brains. It strengthens the ability to focus and ignore distractions. It improves working memory. A breathing-based meditation showed reduction of PTSD scores, anxiety symptoms, and respiration rates. Mindfulness can help to lower amygdala reactivity to stress, thus less cortisol. It helps with sleep, the immune system. It lowers response to pain with more rapid recovery. Compassion meditation showed an increased connectivity in brain circuitry for empathy, for positive emotions, for social connection. There's evidence to support that the states we practice in mindfulness spills over into our daily life, and it has an effect on how we handle stress. And I like this quote from Dalai Lama. The ultimate source of peace is in the mind, which, far more than our circumstances, determines our happiness. And I love this. So I had to include it. And I hope that you're reading Happiness is Now Here and not Happiness is Nowhere. It's all perspective. The overall tenor of mindfulness practice is gentle, appreciative, and nurturing. Another way to think of it would be heartfulness. I like to think of it that way. So it's the mind and the heart together. That is my presentation on mindfulness. I've included some other healing modalities. And how are we on time? I'm not sure if I have time to go over all of these. I certainly can't explain all of them, but these are breath work. I tried to sort them into categories, and you can get these in the slide. And if you want more information, I can go into more detail. A lot of the breathing is hard to write down on how to breathe. It's more like a practice that you do. So it's by demonstration. So that's why I didn't tell a lot about how to do these, because I didn't want to mislead people. The next category that I put other healing modalities is the energy. Energy medicine. The energy runs through our bodies in the meridians. The meridians are like rivers. And as rivers sometimes get blocked up by things passing through, causes a little dam, your energy can get blocked as well. And that's when you start to have some difficulty physically, emotionally. And so there's different techniques that helps the energy to keep flowing in a balanced way and to clear some of those blocks. Reiki comes from Japan. It's a technique for stress reduction and relaxation, and also promotes healing. It has different ways to clear some of those blocks as well. Tai Chi, I think a lot of people hear Tai Chi is pretty popular. It's a mind-body exercise. It's coming from China, so Qi is energy in China. It really started from the martial arts, but it's pretty popular these days, and you can find classes with that. I particularly like Qigong. It's a series of movements that bring energy into your body and balances inside. More energy modalities, acupressure, similar to acupuncture, except you're not using needles, you're using a gentle touch, and you're improving energy flow. It can be used with a whole range of medical conditions. Emotional freedom techniques, or EFT, there's so much research about the positive effects that this has. You move through a problem with self-acceptance. There's so much research on the effectiveness of this practice. I have some resources also listed at the end where you can find out more information about that. Craniosacral therapy, healing touch, reflexology. Reflexology, there's a belief that the areas of the feet and the hands correspond to organs and different body systems. And so you can just apply pressure or massage to those areas. Biofeedback is pretty popular as well. You're measuring different body functions like heart rate, respiratory rate, body temperature. So as you're going through talking about maybe a trauma, for example, you get feedback on the body's reaction to just bringing it up. And then there's different techniques that you use to kind of condition yourself so that you don't have those body reactions. This next group I call meditation and mindfulness, and we talked about the loving kindness and compassion meditation, the mindfulness-based stress reduction. Visualization is like you're putting your picture, you're creating a picture in your mind of what you want to happen. Sometimes it relates to different colors that you might see, and it relates to energy. Guided imagery is a great relaxation. If you've ever gone someplace on vacation or to the beach, or, most people pick a beach because it's relaxing there. But any place that you find relaxing, you can create that picture in your mind and your body responds. Kind of similar to if you're watching a horror film. How does your body respond? You get all tense. I hate watching horror films, especially before going to bed, because I can't fall asleep because my body is so tense. So this works the same way, except you're putting a picture of a relaxing, a mellow, peaceful setting instead of a stressful setting. Progressive relaxation is used a lot in yoga. I find this particularly helpful when I'm having difficulty falling asleep. And you start with your toes and you stretch your toes, then you relax your toes. I like to stretch first because it enhances my awareness of the relaxation. If I said relax your hand, well, your hand's kind of relaxed, but if you stretch your hand and then relax it, it kind of heightens your awareness of what a relaxed feeling is. And so then I just go through every part of my body. I don't move off my toes until my toes are relaxed. And by the time you get to your back, half of your body's totally relaxed, and it's easier for, by the time you get to your head, for your mind to relax. They practice it in yoga. I remember one yoga teacher I had, she would always use visualization in her progressive relaxation. And she would say, think about your eyebrows melting off your forehead, and so it's like, oh yeah, calming, I'm not going to try to say the title of this prayer, but it's an ancient Hawaiian healing system for healing. And it basically is 4 phrases. I love you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, and thank you. And there's no special order. You can go backwards, forwards, inside out, and you can address it to yourself, or you can address it to another person. And it has great healing benefits. I talked a little bit about being in nature before, but here I go into a little bit more detail about the energy compounds that are emitted by plants and trees, the phytoncides, and they can spur healing. So there's so much research done linking nature to symptom relief for stress, for heart disease, depression, anxiety, lots of things. I also love positive affirmations, and that's just giving yourself permission to enjoy life today. It's a focus on your good parts. It's accepting yourself. I accept and love myself thoroughly and completely. I believe and trust in myself. Intention, sound healing. that sound is an energy, but you can also feel the energy from different vocal or instrumental things like gongs and singing bowls and so on. Even humming. If you hum and you put your fingers in your ear and hum, you can really feel the vibration in your throat. And humming stimulates the vagus nerve, which connects the brain and the heart. And when you stimulate that, it is very relaxing. And that is along the same line of maybe chanting or having a mantra, which I include also. Oops, maybe that got cut off. Okay, it did. So I'll have to update that. So mantra is a Sanskrit term with man meaning mind and tra meaning release. So it's a word or phrase that you would repeat during a meditation, and it's a tool to help release your mind. It's related to chanting, and like I said, anything with the vocal cords, it stimulates the vagus nerve. And I must have not had the other slide I'm missing here, Matt. I'll have to send it to you. But I talked about journaling, massage, and yoga. They're kind of combination other types of healing modalities. And then I've included some resources, apps, and websites that you might gain some more information if you're so interested in. And those are my references.
Thank you so much, Diane. Very comprehensive overview, and appreciate the inclusion of the practices themselves. I would like to draw everyone's attention to the chat. I did put the link for the evaluation for this presentation. If you can please open that up now and complete that before we end, I would appreciate that. We did receive a question. I offered part of a response to it, but one question that we had was if you could explain the difference between meditation and mindfulness as you understand those two terms.
Okay, well, mindfulness is a form of meditation. There's all different kinds of meditation, and there's different kinds of mindfulness. So basically, the difference is meditation is almost like clearing your mind. A lot of forms of meditation is like you're just being with the present moment, but there's nothing else going on. I call mindfulness is you're becoming more aware. It's the awareness of where you're at right now, what's going on, sort of like your awareness to walking, your awareness to what activities going on, your awareness of what's going on in your life right now. It's sometimes difficult to think of nothing because thoughts continue to come into your mind. And that's okay. With meditation, you just become aware of them and you let them go. But so with mindfulness, you're trying to tap into the good. You're trying to go inward to your own self and to your feelings about it's sort of, that's why I made the connection between mindfulness and heartfulness. I believe, this is my personal opinion, that that's the true difference between meditation and mindfulness. You're still taking the time to kind of sort yourself away from all other thoughts and disturbing situations, but you're connecting with who you are, your essence, and being aware of that, and being aware of your goodness, and being aware of what's in your heart. They talk about mind, body, spirit. The spirit can be your heart. The spirit can be your consciousness. It can be your feelings, and your feelings are your feelings. Nobody can make you feel anyway. They're your feelings, and connecting with that. And it's okay to feel bad. I feel bad when something isn't going my way, but I don't need to carry that bad feeling. I can go there and address it. And then it helps me get out of that and make some positive choices.
Thank you. I guess very briefly, just one final question that I would pose for you, knowing that this is NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, many of the folks that attend our programs have a mental health condition, or someone in their family has a mental health condition, or they're a professional working with folks affected by mental illness. So knowing that some of us may be experiencing things like depression or anxiety or chronic stress, what would be your recommendations for starting a mindfulness practice to address that?
As you start where you're at and what you're comfortable with. So I always start with the breath because it's the easiest thing. And it's the sort of like the sounding off, it's like the step, it's the first step. And so there's amazing results with 8 minutes of just being mindful of your breath. So if you can just close your eyes for 8 minutes, you can set a timer, but for 8 minutes, just focus on your breath and let that breath go to where it needs to go. And if you have a broken heart, let it go there. If you're feeling sad, let it go there. If you're feeling angry, let your breath go there and then calm it down. And it will. And so I think that's the easiest way to get started. I kind of like those 3 qualities, the calmness, because the breath can calm you down. And there's so many different types of breathing, but you don't have to do this type of breathing. There's no right or wrong way. I mean, yeah, there is a right way if you want to use breathing to control pain. They have a lot of research on that, different ways to breathe. It's used in childbirth all the time. But if you want to just relax, you can start with the breathing. Again, it'll get you on a more calm level so that when you're faced with the saber-toothed tiger or something like it in today's world, that you don't automatically fly off the handle. You can go back to your breath and know that it'll bring you calm down. So the breath is like the send-off, and that's why I started with that. Even 1 minute of following your breath will help to calm you down. Or you could take a 5-minute vacation. Go to that place where it's fun to go to, or it's very relaxing, and just think about that place. Put that picture in your mind, and you can go there and it'll calm you down. So the relaxing part of it is a big component to mindfulness. You need to get yourself relaxed, because otherwise your mind's just going crazy. And that's okay if it starts, the thoughts are going to come in, and there's no right or wrong way to do mindfulness. So that's the cool thing. So your mind goes off, yep, bring it back to where you are, just bring it back. So it's becoming calm, and it's being open. If you're not open to it, it's going to be hard to let that
Right.
in. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I believe we've come to a close here. I don't see any more questions. Just a final reminder to complete the evaluation. Click on that link. And again, these slides will be made available to you on probably tomorrow morning, and we'll also be posting the recording for this webinar on our YouTube channel as well. So thank you again so much, Diane, for offering this expertise, generously donating time to educate us on this topic. We really appreciate it, and thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Matt.
Bye.
Bye.